Hello, fellow robots out there in Internet Land. I am Sobertron, and welcome to the next episode of Titancraft Season 7 here on Tangotech's Patreon server. And as always, guys, if you want to join us and the insanity that is Titancraft, all the information you need is down in the description for Tangotech's Patreon page. Just follow the directions, sign up. Honestly, guys, amazing server. I love it. I've been here, I don't even know how long now, 4.5 years I've been playing on Titancraft, and it's fantastic. Every season gets more and more insane. We do crazier and crazier things, like this bad boy behind me. It's been a while since I've done recordings. I have been playing a bit. I have been on vacation, though. I went down to Orlando with the family. We did the Universal Studios thing. I've never been there before, and it was great. I loved every single minute of it. But I was able to get on a few hours every night. I kind of took the laptop with me, and I built a little bit more of the Cactus Farm, and now we are getting closer and closer to getting it complete. Right now, there is 6,250 cactus in this bad boy, and we're going for 10,000. So right now, I've actually got a layer of 4 done. This one has 3, that one has 2, and this one only has 1 complete. There is 2 layers of cactus, but it's not harvesting them right now. And for you very perceptive players, you'll notice that the perimeter is done. DJ and Cash were able to finish it off while I was gone, and it's looking fantastic. Ooh, it looks like they missed a bit there. I'll clean that up in a little bit. But there's other things going on over here. DJ has been kind enough to be gathering all the wood I need for this cactus farm. It takes a ton of wood. All these fence posts right here. It's insane how much it takes. If I could change one thing about this farm, I would replace these fence posts with chains. We don't have the iron to do all that, though. That would take an insane amount of iron that we just don't have yet, because the public iron farm has yet to open. Which is also why there's a bamboo farm down here. I figure having sticks from these bad boys as opposed to the trees over there is a lot better. We save on resources this way, and bamboo grows super fast. But today, we aren't going to really be focusing on the cactus farm. I can't really do anything with it yet. I want to use it for Furnace XP farms, but I don't have a good fuel source yet. I've honestly just been bone mealing all the stuff, which is nice because we're using white glass for this bad boy. But what I want to do today, first and foremost, before we get started on any farms today, which is, spoilers, gonna be a creeper farm, I want to clean up a little bit around here. We still have a whole bunch of dump chests up here from when we were first digging out when the water was still here. There's a lot of random bits here and there, mostly andesite, diorite, and granite. I think we moved almost everything else, but I want to get rid of the central platform up here. I want to get rid of all these cross sections, and I want to get rid of that circle up there. And then the other thing I want to do is try to reduce some lag on the server. We don't have a need for this unloading system anymore, so I want to tear all that out, and then I want to try to remove as many hoppers as possible. A lot of these slices actually are not full at all. Like, we've been taking the iron ore and just using it, so we don't have any iron ore in these slices, so those can kind of disappear. Same with, like, the coal. There's not a whole lot of coal in here, because we've been moving it, a lot of it, back and forth for fuel and whatnot. So I want to remove as many hoppers as possible, because this thing ruins my frames. It's not helping the server at all. So I want to clean up a bit. So I'm going to do all that, get rid of all this, make it look a little bit more pretty, and I will be back with you guys in a little bit. So I was able to clean up everything around the perimeter, with the exception of the stuff we're using still. I'm still using this geode. Surprisingly, only this geode and then the other one that used to be kind of there were the only 2 geodes in this entire perimeter. I had to remove one because the flying machines needed to run back and forth, and I had to remove about half of this one as well. Same thing, flying machines. But I've kept this one around for a while, and I've been periodically harvesting them off, because we're going to be using some tinted glass in this design, because I've got an idea for it. I was not able to get to this, though, and that's because when DJ and I were digging this thing out, we kept loading and unloading this sorting system here, and that caused a lot of the filters to break. And I thought that Az came by and fixed it and went through all these chests, but I guess he didn't. I know I saw one somewhere. Yeah, there. Look at that. That's not good. That is not good at all. So our resident human sorting system, Lee, has volunteered herself graciously to go through all of these chests and make sure everything is the way it should be. So this is going to have to stay here for a little while longer. And I'm even keeping this one here, too, because I had to move a lot of stuff from up top. I put a lot of just stuff here because I wasn't able to reach all of the chests, and I didn't feel like climbing up and down scaffolding, so there's about 4.5 double chests worth of just miscellaneous randomly sorted bits there. So, yeah, this is going to have to be at a later date. Hopefully sometime soon Lee can come by and clear out some of these hoppers. The next thing we're going to work on, though, is we're going to start to lay out this creeper farm that we're going to build. It's the same design I built last year. It's an older Ilmango design, and it works beautifully on servers like this. A lot of people... Hi, buddy. A lot of people like to use flushing mob farms, but server performance-wise, they're not the greatest. And this one I love. You don't have to deal with doing carpet or walls in the floor. You do have to place some, and this is just kind of a mock-up for me till I have the dimensions right. Each module is 8 wide, and then you end up with shared walls between the modules themselves. That's actually wrong. Let's break that. Like that, something like that. So you would have this wall here is shared between these two modules. So normally this is 8 wide, but then once you get to a second module, it's not 16, it's actually 15. So I need to do a bit of counting out. Originally, I was going to place the creeper farms on the south and the north side, but I'm actually going to change that up because I was going to put our kelp farm over here. But I'm actually going to put it on the north side now because of the smoker array I'm going to build. It is directional based because of some rails and things. So first thing I want to do is I want to count off from the center. Because when I did this, I actually chunk aligned everything. So with these kind of 4 columns of hoppers is actually the center of our perimeter is those 4 blocks. So right in between the middle. If I turn on chunk borders, you can see that it's right there in the middle. So I'm going to count out and try to figure out where I want to place the first of these modules on the east side of our perimeter. And that's because in the future, I may consider expanding the creeper farm out to cover the entire floor. I haven't decided yet. We're going to see how what I'm calling the 2 wings is going to be an eastern wing and a western wing. So I'm going to build the eastern one first, which is going to be in some slime chunks. So we're actually going to passively get some slime balls too. But this happened to us back in Season 4, where we had an entire perimeter that was nothing but a creeper farm. But yeah, we're just going to wait and see. So I'm going to do some block counting. I got some stone on me. I'm going to build that contraption a few times just to make sure I get my spacing right. And then we can get started building the very first one. And hopefully it does pretty well. I'm not sure how many I'm going to build today. There is some stuff I want to do back at the base. And this slime is slowly creeping his way towards me. So yeah, there's stuff I want to do back at the base. So I want to get this done as soon as possible. So let me space all this out and I'll be back. So I've measured everything out. And initially I was only going to make this farm 64 kind of in length. But after seeing how much we can render in from my little AFK spot over there right now, I doubled that. We're going to make it 128 long. And I've started the first slice over here. I want to show you guys how I do this, but I think I'm going to build a few more too. Because based off where I can see and standing in my little AFK hut, I can see up to like this diorite block over here. So I should be able to load everything right now. And the render distance on the server is only going to increase as the season goes on. So I can probably fit 2 or 3 more slices in here, with it being 128 long. I might just make it longer, though. I don't know yet. I really don't know yet, but I want to show you guys my process for this. So I've laid down what I like to call the skeleton, right? This is the easy stuff to do, because you can just literally select your block, run in a line, and place all the amazing blocks. So this is the first step in my process. So, like I said earlier, this is an older Ilmango design, and it works beautifully because it's creepers only, and it kills them really quickly. I've got unloading systems that we use that are different than the tutorial, but I'll show you guys that stuff. I will link to his tutorial in the system. Like I said, it's from several years back, but it works beautifully on servers like this. You don't have to deal with flushing water or anything like that. And each kind of slice, which if this kind of skeleton was the first slice, operates independent of all the other slices because of how everything works. So first step 1 is to do all of this very long, monotonous block placement. I am using deep slate again, which Caabele's going to kill me for, because I'm not using them really as a decorative block. They're kind of a decorative block. I've got this idea for this whole space, and jeez, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've inadvertently made a slime farm, which is fine. You know, no big deal. What was I saying? I don't even remember now. Oh, I've got this idea for this place, and it's going to be using lots of deep slate and lots of quartz of all blocks. It's going to be tons and tons of quartz. I'm probably going to have to set up my own separate villager trading hall with just stonemasons to get as much quartz as I'm going to need. in my head, I've got this idea for just contrasting black and whites. And honestly, this is my new favorite kind of black textured block. It looks better than Blackstone in my opinion, which I used a lot of last season, so I'm trying not to use any this season. It is the new hotness as well. And we got a pretty decent supply of it after digging out this perimeter. So I'm going to go through and build this first skeleton. And then I'll come back and show you guys what I like to do in the next step. Because tutorials, like what I did when I showed you guys the flying machines, tutorials don't always show you the best way to do things like this in survival. It shows you building them in creative, which if you're playing on a survival server like I always do, doesn't really help you out so much sometimes. It doesn't show you how you can place certain blocks in certain ways. So I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna finish killing these guys because they're everywhere. And then I will do the skeleton and I'll come back and I'll show you my next step in the process. Ah. So it's been a minute later, guys, a little bit. But you should have a nice long hallway if you're doing something like this with me. There's one thing I forgot to mention, and it's nice having a jump boost beacon if it will ever engage. Come on, you can do it. I'm getting the haste from over there still. There we go. It's been so long though because I just did it 4 more times. I figured why not. I was gonna have to put a roof over this thing to keep the light levels low, so I figured it'd be easier just to build this entire side at once. So once you have the skeleton bits in, I like to go through and do the tripwire hooks next, followed by the sticky piston. And so right now this thing's 128 blocks long, which is exactly 2 stacks, which I do purposefully. And that's why originally I was going to do 64 long, but I figured I had enough room to do 128. So 4 stacks of tripwire hooks is what I need for this. And I do that to make sure I don't miss any. This is the spot that I generally, I don't want to say screw up, but I forget to place tripwire hooks sometimes. Sometimes it's just server lag. But if you keep track, if you just place exactly in stacks like I did there, that's 1 stack gone. And by the time I get to the other end, that's our, 2 stacks. So it makes it very easy to count. It also makes it very easy when you're building and gathering resources and things to do. So hopefully almost there. Boom. There we go. 2 stacks done. What I'd like to do next is, as soon as I finish 1 row of tripwire hooks, I come through and place sticky pistons. This is honestly probably the most expensive part of all of this, is the tripwire hooks and the sticky pistons, due to the iron cost. We are lucky enough to have all the resources from this perimeter we dug, so we are sitting fairly good with iron, even without any kind of iron farm available to us at the present moment. Now, I'm going to do all of this, and then the last step on this is to place trap doors. I'm going to be using spruce. I really wish I could be using iron, though, because the white against the black would look amazing. One other thing I forgot to mention is, one design change we have from Ilmango's is this block I'm standing on right here. In his design, he uses slabs here to mob-proof it. You can stack this farm on top of each other fairly easily. We don't do that. We keep it 1 level. That way, because mob spawning mechanics and things, the lower the block is in the world, the better the mob rates, and any block above it can affect the rate here. So we replace these with full blocks. And we also do a little bit of redstone here. That way we can turn the entire farm on and off with the touch of a single lever. So I'll be doing that in a little bit. But the last thing to do is to do trapdoors, like I said. So trapdoors against all of these sticky pistons. And then, this farm is getting really close to being done, honestly. I'm breezing through this. It's like I've done it, a time or 2. Or 7. I don't know. I lost track of how many times I've built this farm. But I've got a lot of tripwire hooks and a lot of sticky pistons to place, and a lot of trapdoors on top of that. And then the dreaded part, and that is the part where I have to put in all of the string. But I've got a thing to help me out, so I'm going to finish all this up, and I will see you guys... I'll see you guys momentarily. Things are progressing quite nicely, guys. And actually, we've got a lot of hands on deck right now. DJ's actually crafting me up some stuff to help with the farm, as is continuing on the Cactus Farm after helping me do some of this work as well. And Cass just logged in, so she's on her way over here to help as well. So I've got all the rails in. I've got all the trap doors in. What we did with the trapdoors was I redstone this up like I talked about in the last clip. All you need to do is place a lever in, and it'll power the first piston, and then I do a line of redstone all the way down, and then I come back through and I place repeaters underneath the block or into one of these blocks, and it causes the line to continue. Basic redstone stuff, guys. But then it makes it really easy to place the trapdoors. If you don't do this, what I recommend doing is you'll have something like this. Now imagine the trapdoors aren't there. I would walk on the opposite side, placing them here, and then once you get to the other end, that jump boost beacon's going to come in handy. Just jump out and flip sides. That's the easiest way I found to do it. But I'm going to keep this off for now. With these extended, nothing can spawn on these spawning spaces, which right now they are set up for creeper only. The walls will prevent any spiders from spawning in. The next thing I want to do, though, is do the roof and the floor of this place, because we are still getting a ton of mobs spawning underneath and on top of all of this. And this update presents us a unique opportunity to see the creepers die. Normally, you have to slab this whole thing up, everything in between the redstone, and then the 15 out overhang to prevent light from leaking in. Hi? Good night. Thank you. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to change it up. Because Tinted Glass allows us to block light level, don't do that. We're going to use it. We're going to see the creepers die, which is really cool. I've wished for something like this for a very long time. Tinted Glass is quite expensive, and that's actually what DJ is crafting up right now, is all this amazing tinted glass. It has that nice little purple effect. I wish it was black, honestly, but the purple does go nicely with the deep slate, so we will take what we can get. And once again, because this thing is 128 blocks long, makes it super simple to count out exactly how many stacks you need. So we're going to need 4 stacks of tinted glass per module, which is it is quite pricey, but I think it's gonna look really cool once we can. I want to stand up top at the end of this and see the creepers dying inside this thing. The other thing we're doing that's also quite pricey is the floor. I just went and got a ton of quartz that we've been mining up, or that Gore's been mining up mostly in the Nether. All this, I don't think I talked about this before. All this granite is temporary. I only needed this here to prevent the raid from spawning down here, like it did a couple times before we slapped it up. So all this is temporary. We are going to go with beauty pretty quartz. Why does that seem weird? Nope, that's fine. Mobs are spawning like crazy down here, and we're using the smooth variant. So I have to smelt up all of this into smooth quartz, which is going to take some time. We do have a bit more back at base, but I think eventually what I'm going to need to do is make a stonemason only villager trading hall. It's gonna suck, but it is what it is. But I think the contrast between these two blocks is just so fantastic. It looks amazing. The deep slate next to the smooth quartz. I don't know. I've never had an idea like this before to where it's like monochrome colored. But I think it's gonna end up working out really, really well. I just hope I have enough quartz right now to do all this. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably diorite for now. I'm sorry, guys. It is what it is. Oh, that's all I got on me. But yeah, after I finish doing the roof, which I think I'm going to just do in deep slate variant of some kind. I've been using mostly tiles right now. I like the darker color of the tiles compared to like the walls. You can see the walls. It's hard to tell, but the walls are slightly lighter in color. Yeah, I just have to do all this. And then the creeper farm's almost ready. The only thing left after this is to do the unloading system. Initially, I was going to do it here on the north side, but because the kelp is going to be coming in on the north and the sugarcane farm's actually going to be on the south side, I figured I'm going to route the gunpowder next to the sugarcane eventually, once we build a monstrosity up there. I'm going to route those two things together because that makes the most sense in my brain, to have the sugarcane to make paper next to the gunpowder so we can make rockets. Simple, easy. I know what I'm doing, guys, I swear. But yeah, I just have to do a lot more thousands of block placements, and this thing should be ready to go fairly soon. So I'm going to finish up at least the roof and hopefully as much as the floor as possible. And then I'll come back and I'll talk about the unloading system that Nexus designed for us. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. So we were able to get the ceiling in, no problem whatsoever. All deep slate tiles, and I love using these blocks. I'm going to overuse them in this area because of my idea for it. We actually thought about in the future potentially getting rid of all this and just using the tinted glass everywhere around it, and that way we didn't have to have these overhangs. But we don't have that much tinted glass right now, so we got to make do with what we have. The floor, unlike the ceiling, was considerably more difficult, and it's not even done. I was only able to get kind of 3/4 of the outside, and then this one strip down the middle here done, because we ran out of quartz. We fortuned it all up, hence why I have a ton of levels. That's all from fortuning up quartz. You can see, though, there's some dark spaces in here, so yeah, you're gonna die soon, guy. I'll show you guys in a minute what I'm doing to rectify this problem. What I wanted to show you guys next, how I do this, is how we go about placing the string. And once we have the string in, then it only takes magma, and then the farm's ready to go. So I turned this one side on. It really helps to prevent some mob spawning on the opposite side as we're doing this. What I do is I just strafe along, and you can see I've got this texture pack that shows me where all the string is. It's great. It's fantastic. It's part of another pack that I have, but it makes it super easy when building this farm. Same thing, though. It's going to take 8 stacks of string per module on one of these bad boys because it's 2 stacks long, and I don't care about losing torches at all. But once I get to the other end, I just come back the other way. And it's not a big deal if you misplace it like I did right there, because you're going to end up coming back that way regardless. And it's actually not even a big deal if you place one, it's kind of hard to do there, but if you were to place one there, once the farm fires once, that string should break from this trapdoor, actually. It's weird, because it doesn't look like it will, but it will. Promise you. I promise you guys that. But yeah, I just have to do this several times, at least in this module. I really just have to get this module done, because this is only the only module ready to go right now. We do have some tinted glass over there on that side right now. But what I'm doing to get all the quartz from the future is, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since my last recording, several hours. DJ, myself, Cash, we made a couple villager breeders. We decided to go with a ton of stonemasons over here. We've got, I think, 8 right now. But we got a double villager breeder right outside of our perimeter. It's chugging along slowly. DJ was just AFK over here, but the server just restarted. Hi, I'm in a hole. That's not fun. Get out of the hole, please. Come on. You can do it, sober. There we go. I knew I could do it. But yeah, villager breeders going. We've got 8 guys over here. The nice thing is that we don't need to zombie cure them, because that actually takes a while right now on the server because of TPS. But all of these bad boys, their last trade will be blocks of quartz. That means I just need to smelt it, and I get the smooth quartz that I want. So I'm going to finish this first farm up. I'm going to finish this first module, which is only 256 spawning spaces. Was that as? I think that was as. 256 spawning spaces in this first module. And then I'm going to turn it on. Because why not? Let's just turn the bad boy on, see what happens. Hopefully we can start getting some gunpowder. I didn't talk about the unloaders. I've used them before. Everything's fairly simple. As soon as the minecart comes up here, the comparator will detect an output in this hopper, and then it'll turn off that rail. So if I were to put, let's just put, I don't know, let's not do a half stack, quarter stack of string. That rail turns off, which means the minecart's going to get stuck. All the hoppers, all the items flow through these hoppers into this dropper right here. Stuff happens, and everything's going down this one water stream right now. And currently, I just have it going into one double chest right here at the end. In the future, once I get all the shenanigans up top built, I'm going to route everything up into one central storage. But for right now, we're going to be cleaning this chest out very often. So no real need to route anything up. But I'm going to finish this up, place the magma in, turn it on, and see what we get. I don't know how long I'm going to AFK for. We'll just see what happens. So a fairly substantial amount of time has passed since my last recording. We've been dealing with a family emergency, and I haven't been able to record. But I have been able to play a bit here and there. Enough so that I have finished our creeper farm, at least half of the creeper farm, because we still have to build a whole nother one of these over on the opposite side. But this bad boy right here has been churning. It has been cranking out the gunpowder. So many shulkers of gunpowder we have received. So much so that I have put some in our shop. So we're selling gunpowder in its raw variety and also in its rocket variety. And I don't care about wasting them anymore. Honestly, we have a sugarcane deficit right now. We don't have enough sugarcane to supply these rockets. So we need to make sure we harvest it at every opportunity. And just to give you an indication of how much time has passed, DJ has brought over all the quartz that he has been gathering from his traders. He now has 32 over there, stonemason, so we have 6 double chests of smooth quartz. He's even cooked it up for us to where we can do almost this entire floor, if my math is correct. I think we might need a bit more. But yeah, things have been churning in my absence. But right now, I know I said I was gonna go back to base and do some more work on the plateaus. But Gorewings has asked for help on a public project. He is working on a public farm, and he needs some assistance. So I'm gonna head over there instead. We're gonna meet up. I don't know if we'll meet up with him. I think he's actually at work right now. So I know what he wants, but I don't know how to do it. So maybe we'll wait for him. Maybe we won't. We'll see what happens. Let's roll of the dice. You know, life happens sometimes. But I'll meet you guys over there momentarily. So we have ventured deep into the North Tunnel. We're at 2800 north of the North Tunnel. We're well outside the world border of the overworld, and we are at the public wither skeleton farm dig. Uh, lots of things need to be done out here, guys, as soon as the game decides to load. Gore has already completed work on most of what will be the farm, and this is what he's having trouble with, is he's having, missing things. He's having trouble with the pathfinding of the wither skeleton. What's happening right now is that he's got these 4 piglins down here, and the guys that come out of this drop chute are trying to pathfind to this bad boy right here. But they're trying to go through this wall, so we need to fix that up. We want them to try to come down this drop chute here. I keep telling him he needs to get rid of this thing here. It'll make things a lot easier, because then you just have these 2 drop chutes to deal with. You can have 1 pigment in the middle, and then you can just drop them down right there. But the other thing that we're really asking for right now, guys, this is a call to arms. We need every Titancraft member that sees this video to come out here and dig. There is a lot of work that still needs to be done out here. Lots of digging needs to be had, especially in this. I think this is the western side. Nobody's touched this yet. Because we're entering from the east, a lot of this area has been done. And what we're looking for is mostly to get rid of overhangs down to lava right now. And when I say overhang, I mean things like this here. You can see, let me land really quick. You've got a lot of spawning spaces up here that are overlapping each other. So getting rid of things like that is going to help the rates of this farm much quicker than digging straight from bedrock down to bedrock. I've actually been working on a bit over here, and this was a massive overhang before, and it had like 3 layers where mobs could spawn. So I need to take this down all the way to lava. I'm going to do like 9 chunks or something. I don't know how many chunks it is, but you can see how much I've flattened out already. So I'm going to dig all of this out, and I'm also going to try to fix this before I come back. My initial thought right now is to try to slab up the inside of this kind of wing here. See if I can rejigger these piglins and get them to come down a drop chute, probably somewhere here. If I can use 1 piglin in the middle and do a drop chute that's 3 wide, I think that'll work. It'll help with item flowing. Right now they're landing in 1 spot, but 3 wide should be plenty. I mean, I've done farms with 3 wide before. I did my gold farm that way last season, and it never had any issues. So I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm gonna dig that bad boy out, so when I get back, this whole section will be gone, and hopefully we can get some better mob flow rates out of this thing. Note to self, guys. Note to self: when you are digging a perimeter, any kind of perimeter in the overworld, in the nether, know your bounding area. Know how far you need to go, and don't screw up like I did. I got into a really big groove. I just felt like digging and digging to my heart's content, and I dug a bit too much. Like, I don't even want to know how many chunks extra I dug. The northern border of this dig is right here. This wall is the northern border. And I kept going because I saw overhangs, and that's what I'm after right now. And when I say overhangs, I mean areas like this, so where you have 1 spawning layer there, 1 spawning layer here. So by just removing one of those layers, either the top or the bottom, I usually go for the highest, most one I can see, you increase the rates on what's happening right now. So we're using the farm as it's going. I've got tons of wither skeleton heads, wither skulls, yeah, in my ender chest right now. And the more we do this, the better the rates are. But I just saw this crazy overhang area, and I was like, I gotta take care of that. And I dug too much. So, you know, it is what it is. But I've got cool things to show you that Nexus has designed, and I want to say a huge welcome back to Nexus. Nexus is back on the server. He's been gone for a couple seasons now, and it's great to have him back. He's one of my best friends on the server. We talk all the time. even when he wasn't playing Minecraft. So it's great having him back on the server too. But I told him what I needed, and he started doing some things. And yeah, it's great. So my initial plan was to get rid of this. Oh, excuse me. Get rid of that. That right there. This one kind of area, this fourth crossroads. I was just gonna get rid of it. Why? Why are you? Okay. Oh, we can see this in action. Fantastic. Oh, this is so good. I was concerned about this. There's a lot of people online right now, and I was super concerned about that this wouldn't work. So I'm super happy now. But my idea was to get rid of that area over there and just deal with these three crossroads up here. And it's very basic. The wither skeletons fall down. They end up in this little trench right here. They see that dude, and they just say, "Hey, I want to kill you." And they fall down this little 3x1 hole. They trigger the tripwire right down there, just like I'm doing at the creeper farm, and they get pushed into this one wide hole. But he came up with what I can only call the conveyor belt. It's essentially a piston feed tape that is using open fence gates to continue the stuff and things. But wow, there's a few of them in there. Let's see if this will work. But essentially, he's got a double speed piston feed tape happening right here. So when we turn this lever, which eventually will be a pressure plate that we wire down to the kill area, these will start to, that one and that one will fire at the same time, and then that one and that one will fire immediately after. And that way, it's moving quicker. You're not waiting for the signal to make its way around the entire area. It's going twice as fast. That's the only way I can say it. So I'm going to flip this lever, and you'll start to see it in action. And you'll see the wither skeletons are in those fence gates, and as soon as they make it to this drop chute here, they will aggro on that guy, and then it's beautiful. It's a really, I don't want to say elegant, but it's elegant and technical and amazing all at the same time. Like, I would have never thought of this. I kept trying to think of ways to get like lava and whatnot, and Nexus just comes up with these crazy ideas. And it's so, and you're gonna aggro on me, aren't you? Hi. Hi, guy. What's up? Let's go down there. Let's go down to the bottom of the farm. If we leave the area, they should ignore me now. Yep, there they go. They will aggro on this dude now. And yeah, it's going to be great. Now, we just need to wire in a pressure plate somewhere, and it'll all work. It'll be fantastic. Oh. You can see TPS is really struggling right now. I was just happy to get these two dudes to three dudes. Three dudes. There he is. On camera. Like, that's fantastic. But that's it, guys. I'm done. I'm wrapping it up here. We got a lot of work still left to do here, so I'm going to dig some more before I go back to our perimeter, because I need to finish up that cactus farm. We are burning through picks like nobody's business. It's honestly easier to create new picks at this point than repair the ones we have. So I've got a bunch of almost dead picks laying around everywhere. I've just been making a shulker of picks every morning that I log in. But PSA, guys, come out here. Come help us. We have picks. We have shovels. So if you're on the Titancraft server, which I would imagine the vast majority of you watching my videos are on Titancraft, and if you're not, consider joining. But if you're here, come help. Come lend a hand. Dig a chunk. Dig a couple chunks. Just keep on digging till it's done. Whatever you want to do. We will take all the help we can get. Gore and myself and all of our group will be very, very happy for you guys coming out. But I'm going to wrap it up here, and until next time, you guys have a good one.